Hello, everybody.
Hi,
Welcome to SoulSpace podcast number 107.
welcome.
We are continuing our talk about pivoting the last week, this week, right?
Yep, the last
I
week
think
of
so.
July 2025.
Yeah, summer is way too fast.
It goes
Um,
so quickly.
it's ridiculous. I know.
It does.
Yeah. Um, so we're gonna do pivoting your vibration today, talking about vibration and how you are in control of your vibration and you don't have to just let it go willy-nilly with the tide.
Right. And that's, a lot of us that's that creating by default
Right.
instead of creating on purpose and
Yeah.
creating your life the way that you want it to be. A lot of us kind of do allow our vibration and our emotions to go with the tide that's around us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to
It
default to
is.
that,
It is.
because that's what we've been so used to doing our whole lives. And so um, that's where pivoting comes in to help us
Yeah.
to recognize where we're at and go, hey, is that really where I want to be? And if it's no, then how to move away and start to move your vibration up to where you
Yeah.
want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been teaching the last few weeks on how to pivot into a different vibration, with different topics. But it really is easy when you learn the tools and you actually use the tools. That's the hardest part. You might know how to do things, but do you really use them? Well, when you start to, you will want to use them more often, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Mhm.
I actually have an example from this morning
Awesome.
of where I pivoted this morning. So this morning, I got to work and I had one of my friends and coworkers that was there because during the summertime, a lot of times I'm in the office by myself.
Mhm.
But they were there working on a computer, and then the summer school admin came too. And so it was great. So we were all in the office together, get along wonderful with these guys. And then one of the guys brought up something in the news that was awful.
Mhm.
And it's one of the very few topics that as soon as somebody mentions it, it triggers me from here to here. and and that was just a struggle for me. And then it's one of those topics where I'll ruminate on it because I struggle with it so much. And
Mhm.
so I allowed myself to be completely changed in that moment
Yeah.
and angry and upset. And so, I just kind of was like ruminating. I was like, I need to change this. And so I brought up the topic. So Ozzy Osbourne passed away yesterday,
Yeah.
which I
So
feel
sad.
really sad about because
Mhm. He's an icon.
pioneer. He
Yeah.
was a pioneer of
Yeah.
rock and roll music, and rock
Yeah.
and roll is my favorite. I
Yeah.
love rock.
Yeah.
And so I said to the guys, and I said, "Hey, did you know that he passed away?" And they said, "Yeah, we heard that." And I said,
Mhm.
"You know what I think that we should do?" And they're like, "What?" And I said, "I think that we should play a song in tribute to our friend and pioneer Ozzy this morning." And they said, "Okay."
Awesome.
So then
Cool.
I went on my Spotify and I was like, "Oh, what's my favorite like Black Sabbath song?" So then I looked that up, and War Pigs.
Oh.
I love War Pigs. It's just like a whole song of like ever changing surprises. I love that song.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody else knows it. Go look it up. Once you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, I know that song.
Yeah. If I hear it, I would know because I love
Iconic.
them. Yeah.
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 Iconic Black Sabbath song. And so we listened to the whole War Pigs, and then I just felt better.
Awesome.
And that's the thing. That's something as simple as just listening to a song that you enjoy
Right.
can completely change how
Mhm.
you feel, which means you've completely shifted your
Yeah.
vibration.
Yeah.
And that's what I did just with a simple song this morning. And then I felt so much better for the rest of the day.
Mm.
And so it's just as easy as that, you guys. It can be
Yeah.
super easy. There's lots of ways to pivot that are a little bit more complex, and there's some that are simple. And that's an example of something simple. Play a song that you enjoy. And for me, when I play rock and roll, it makes me, it helps me to get out any feelings of like anger and aggression without doing anything, but just like that song just allows it to release
Yeah.
for me. And then
Yeah.
it's that relief
So good. Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of songs pivoting you, I listened to one this morning too that was, and I was scrolling for a minute and it came up on my feed and it's Clay Walker, who is a
Mhm.
country. guy that I love. And he was singing Purple Rain by Prince.
What?
And it was so,
Really?
so good. Oh, it was amazing. And I love Prince.
Yeah.
And it was just such an awesome tribute to him. And, Clay can get a really high voice, high pitch. So he did such a great job. I recommend you looking on YouTube for it because
We need to listen
it
to that
was
after our
so
podcast is
good.
today.
Yeah, yeah. And it looked like it was someone, I think it was on TikTok actually. It looked like it was somebody that was probably at a Clay Walker concert and was videoing it.
Really?
So I don't know if it's out there or not, but
Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know who it just came up on my feed. It was so good though. I just loved it. And I thought, oh my God, I love you even more. How can you do this? Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So yeah, it music is of course a healer. Music can get you to the highest highs and the lowest lows.
Yeah.
But to let yourself feel the music, and I don't know if that's just a normal thing, but I feel music.
Yeah, me too.
It speaks to my soul always. And I was in band my whole life, pretty much growing up and just always around music. So it's just a cool thing to be able to feel that within you and not just superficial. It really speaks to your soul if you let it and allow it and just get into it. So
And that's one thing that's great about music is for people that kind of struggle with being able to feel and
Mhm.
know what their emotions are, which
Right.
not all of us are adept at that, and that's
Right.
okay.
Yeah.
Music can help you
It really
to
can.
feel your feelings
Mhm.
in a safe way so that you can start to identify them. And
Yeah.
that's another thing that's great about music.
Mhm. Yeah, it's so awesome. So listen to some music today
Listen to some
after
music.
we're done with the podcast.
Yeah, after.
Don't leave.
After.
Don't leave. Yeah.
Well, you can leave and come back because you can pause it as a video.
Right. Yeah. 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 True. True.
Yes.
So anyway, back to our topic. We're gonna talk about just being able to pivot your vibration so that you're on the track that you want to be on.
Yes, absolutely. And that's really key is getting on the track
Mm-hmm.
and then staying on the track.
Right.
That takes
yeah.
that takes effort, a little bit of effort, but
Yeah.
a little bit could be just picking a song.
Right. Yeah, and it doesn't have to be much, and it doesn't take much if you allow that. It just is easy to get back on the track or back
Right.
into the vortex,
Like
like
with
Abraham would say.
Yes, back into the vortex,
Yeah.
and that's where we want to live our lives.
Yes. Yes.
Like me, it just took me a couple of bars into that song,
Yeah.
and I was like,
Yeah. Yeah.
rocking out with
Yeah.
Ozzy.
Yeah. So awesome.
Yes, I
Yeah.
told them we were celebrating his life and transition, and that's what we did.
Is awesome. Yep. Yeah. He's so cool. Yeah, somebody was saying something about it, their reality show. Did you ever watch that? His family?
I never really watched
No?
that.
Oh.
No, the Osbournes, yeah.
I loved it.
I
I watched it all the time.
I've seen a couple episodes or whatever. Yeah,
It's
they're
so
hilarious.
good. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They are a fun family. I mean, they don't hold anything back. It was really good. Someone was talking about that on, I think on the TikTok. That's how I got down the scroll hole. But they were showing parts of the show, and it was just funny. It brought back cool, fun memories of him because he was such a goofball. He's so out there. But yeah.
But I mean,
awesome.
talk about a family that communicates.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you what they think and how they feel.
They have been through some stuff.
Yes.
So it's so cool to see what a close family they were, even though they had chaos around them a lot and ups and downs with addictions and everything, and they stuck together and they healed together and they had a pretty cool life.
They were able to do a pretty big, massive pivot.
Right. Massive pivot. Yeah. Yeah. All of them in
Their own
in
way.
their own struggles. Yeah. So cool. So our hearts go out to the family, and
Absolutely.
Ozzy will be jamming up in the other world.
Yeah. He'll be missed here in the physical world,
Yeah.
but we will
But
celebrate his life and his legacy, and we'll just
yeah,
continue to enjoy his music
right.
until
His legacy is
forever.
forever. So cool
Yeah.
that they're able to do that. Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
So okay, let's see what Abraham has to say today.
Yes. So today I brought a special book that we haven't really talked about yet. And maybe once, I'm not sure. The Astonishing Power of Emotions and your Let Your Feelings Be Your Guide by Esther and Jerry Hicks. Such an amazing book. This one is really fun. It has short chapters,
Yeah,
which I
that's
really enjoy
awesome.
because you get like the little bites, so you can take it one bite at a time. 'Cause some people kind of struggle maybe with reading like a book that's, goes on and on and on with chapters. So this is like 3 or 4 page chapters. So it's really easy to get
Yeah.
your bite out of it. And if you need to take a break, then you can. It's
Right.
great. I love it.
And it's a good one that you can just read a chapter every day,
Yeah.
if use that for your meditation time or whatever, just to get a few snippets and get you on the right track in the morning. And
That's such a
it's
good
good.
idea.
Yeah.
It's like like we do with magic.
Yeah.
You could do that
Yep.
with this book 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
good. I think this is the only one that I don't have.
You don't have this one?
No.
That's a great one.
Yeah. I think I have it on CD actually, but not on a book,
Yeah.
actual book.
Yeah. Which we both love our actual books.
Yeah, and I don't have a CD player. Oh, we do have one at the office,
have
but
one here.
I don't have one at home anymore.
Because you brought it here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so if you have this book, we are on chapter 6, Vibrational Alignment Feels Like Relief. And this is page 27 if you have the book. When we speak of vibrational alignment, we are referring to aligning the vibrations with your being only. It has nothing to do with anything that anyone else is doing. This sometimes raises a question in those who hear us say that because it seems to many people that the only problems they have are due to their interaction with other people. Quote, so doesn't something need to be done about those individuals? Is a question that people ask. It is true you are interacting with others, and often that interaction is the source of your discomfort or problem, but asking them to be different is not the answer. Most of them are not willing to change for you anyway, and even when they are willing, they cannot consistently be what you need them to be in order for you to feel good. The answer to your feeling good is only in the alignment of the energy within you. As we have said before, it is about you allowing yourself to keep up with that, to keep up with what the larger part of you has become.
But I have something to say about that one.
Yes.
That's something that I have noticed time and time again in my healing practice with clients. Clients will come in at first, especially if they're not used to energy work or knowing about energy, if they're coming in just, for a problem. They, at the beginning, are a lot of times kind of in that victim mode where they think someone else needs to change for them to be happy,
Right.
or for them to feel better, or whatever, for them to get well, whatever it is. And until you realize that it's you that is in charge of that, you can only regulate you and do you. So, you're the one that needs to change or move away from whatever else is causing you to feel bad. It's not them that's doing it, it's yourself. So I love that she talks about that there. And it's so important that you are the one that's 100% responsible of what's going on in your life. yeah, there might be things happening with other people, but you're the one that has to deal with that on your end. It's not what they're doing, it's the way you're perceiving it.
And it's how you're responding too.
Right. Yeah.
You get to choose how you respond to any situation.
Right.
And if your response is to lower your vibration in order to collude with the situation that's going around
Right.
you, then you're making that choice.
Yeah.
You're consciously creating that situation and making it bigger rather than moving towards the situation that you want.
Yeah.
And so just kind of keep that in mind as you're going forward. Am I colluding in lowering my vibration? Or am I keeping myself at an even keel, knowing that that's where I want to be?
Yeah. Yeah.
And knowing that every problem is solvable, and knowing that even if the annoying people around me are going to be annoying, I can still enjoy my life.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's so cool to see clients pivot that and notice that, oh, I don't have to jump into that. I'm my own sovereign person. I can change that myself. It's an amazing step in your healing journey when you flip that switch and you know that you're the one responsible for everything.
Right. And I think the key piece to this, another key piece besides what we've been talking about, is your job is to find alignment with your inner being,
right,
with your spirit, with your own soul.
Yeah.
And where that piece of you has already become what you want, has already matched the vibration of what you've been asking for. And so your bad feelings are you holding yourself away from where your soul already is. So you're over here and your soul's way over here going, dude, come this way, come this way. And that's where the negative feelings are, because you're holding yourself away from where you should vibrationally be, from where you can vibrationally be, to start really creating the life that you want to create, to living the life that you've been asking for.
Yeah.
And moving toward that. And so that's where that negative emotion comes. It tells you where you are vibrationally in relation to where your soul already is waiting for you.
Yeah. Yeah. So good. So much juice in the first little couple paragraphs.
I know,
here.
those 2 paragraphs, you guys.
It's good.
I told you this book is very straightforward and I love it. Okay. So I'll read the last part again because I kind of flubbed it a little bit. As we have said before, it is about you allowing yourself to keep up with what the larger part of you has become.
Yeah.
For example, let us say that you are having a perfectly nice day. You have rested well, you've eaten well, and you are happily involved in a project that is pleasing you. And then someone you care about comes to you with a problem. Not only is there a problem, but the person also thinks that you should take some sort of action to solve the problem. This could be your mate, one of your children, an employee, a client, a friend, or perhaps even someone you do not know. In this example, let us say that one of your employees whom you love and care about is having an interpersonal relationship problem with another employee whom you also care deeply about. As you listen to this person presenting his or her perspective on the situation, you begin to feel your happiness diminishing, your vitality diminishing, your clarity diminishing, and now you feel sad, tired, and confused. You listen politely and your mind races to find solutions. You find yourself relating to what this person is telling you as you hear his or her description of the situation. And you begin to feel overwhelmed as you realize that you really do not have enough knowledge or time to gather enough information to make a rational decision about how to solve this problem. You want to gather the information, perhaps talk to others involved in order to get a clear view of the situation. But as you take the action of more discussion and begin to make suggestions for changes in policies or activities, you feel worse still. The more you listen and discuss, and the more people you talk with about the situation, the more powerless you feel as you realize you cannot begin to unravel the situation and get to the bottom of it. And while you have the power to make sweeping decisions, in fact, if they were employees, you could fire them all and begin again with a fresh and willing new group. You can feel the futility of that action as well. While you usually are not aware of it at the time, a wonderful opportunity for expansion is occurring. Because in the midst of this uncomfortable turmoil, you are giving birth to expanded rockets of desire. With every part of the situation in which you know what you do not want, a counter rocket of desire is launched, and the broader, non-physical part of you has become a vibrational match to that expanded desire. And the discomfort that you are feeling right now, which seems like a response to what your employee is complaining about, is actually the discord between your current thought of what has gone wrong and the expanded desire that your inner being is newly embracing. The vibrations within you are now out of alignment. And when you're out of vibrational alignment, there is no action that will solve the problem. You will not find effective action or words or even thoughts or ideas from your place of misalignment. In fact, any of that which is attempted from your place of misalignment will only serve to make matters worse. If we were standing in your physical shoes, our every effort would be pointed toward one result. We would be looking for a way, any way, to feel better. We would do our best from where we stand to find a way of finding some sort of emotional relief about this unsettled subject, because when some relief is discovered, you are on the way to an alignment of energy.
That's so good. That's exactly what you did at work today.
It's exactly what I did at work today. 100%.
It's so good.
Because it's a situation, that upsets me that I feel powerless about. But I have a desire to make that type of a situation better.
Right.
And so in that misalignment between what I wanted and the rocket of desire that my inner being had already matched, of wanting that situation to be improved.
Yeah.
And in my power with it, I was able to go, okay, am I where I want to be? No, I feel that misalignment and discord within myself from where I am right now and where my inner being is, my soul is. And so I took that moment to go, okay, I need to pivot. I'll use something that I know works for me to pivot back into that feeling of relief, which means that I'm gaining towards my alignment with my inner being.
Yeah. So, she listened to a song and kind of changed the subject that was going on. So that, know that you don't have to stay in the same subject if you're out of alignment. If you feel that, you can just do anything to help you feel better and to uplift that energy right away.
In fact, it's a good idea to put down that subject for a minute if you have strong negative emotion on it.
Right.
Take something else up for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then come back to it if you need to. I agree 100%.
Yeah. It's so important to do that and to notice right away, like Carissa did. She noticed right away she was starting to feel
I was angry.
Yeah. So,
I use my emotions.
Right. Yeah. So just change that, on the fly, just do it. So good.
And you can, and I did, and it was really simple. So this is a long explanation of what I did within a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And I felt that relief within less than a minute.
Yeah.
Of listening to that song.
Yeah.
Which means that I had already really gained momentum in my pivot. Right? So this describes what I told you guys in my story earlier.
Yeah.
Just in a longer winded way that kind of lays out the how, what, and why.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's cool when we have experience in these things because it helps someone new to law of attraction or to the teachings of Abraham that a better way to understand it. I mean, when you hear it different ways, one of them's going to click with you.
Yes.
So
and when one clicks, then the rest starts to also make more sense, and you're like, oh, okay, now things are starting to come full circle for me.
Yeah.
And so I can give you a really simple example from my life that you've probably done before in the past too, that explains exactly what they're talking about here.
Yeah.
Because I know this stuff. And I know what I'm doing when I do that.
Yeah.
Right? I know what's going on vibrationally when I do that, and energetically when I do that.
Yeah.
And physically when I do that. But here's the information that tells you this is why. This is what it's about. This gives you a longer explanation of why should I do that?
Right.
Why is it important? Why is it important within those first moments of momentum in a negative direction? Because as soon as you pivot, that momentum is slowed and then you pivot back and begin your new momentum.
Yeah. Yeah. So good.
Oh, I love this next part.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So, putting your canoe into the stream. Imagine putting your canoe with oars already inside in a river and floating on the current, and then deliberately turning your canoe upstream and paddling with all of your strength against the flow. And as we see you in your boat paddling very hard against the current, we ask, what do you think about turning your canoe downstream and going with the current? And most reply, turn downstream? Oh, that just seems lazy. But how long can you keep that up, we ask? I'm not sure, most answer, but it is my duty and or responsibility to figure that out. And then if we were to visit long with most people, they would go on to explain this is just what we all do there. It's what my mother did and her mother did before her. Anyone who amounts to anything works diligently against the current. All trophies and monuments are erected to honor those hardworking people who stayed strong against the current. And now, when you think about that and you know what you know, doesn't that sound silly?
It does. It
I
makes
mean,
us giggle when we read
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Because you're like, I'm just trying to canoe upstream.
yeah.
Why are we doing that?
Right. Why
Why?
are you working so hard
Why are
when
you
you don't
wearing
have
yourself
to?
out
Yeah,
when the current could take you somewhere really, really, really cool?
yeah, yeah,
Easily.
yeah. It's so much easier. Yeah. And anyway, people often remind us there are even more rewards after we die for those who work hard like this. We watch you getting more efficient at fighting the current. Your muscles get stronger, your boats become sleeker, and you discover more effective oars. And always we listen patiently as we hear a variety of versions on this same general theme of justification for paddling upstream. But then we always explain what we consider to be the most important thing that our physical friends could ever hear from us. Nothing you want is upstream. I love that.
I like that too. Nothing
Yeah.
you want is upstream.
No, no, it, yeah,
Struggle begets struggle,
yeah,
begets more struggle.
right.
Law of
Yeah,
attraction, right?
yeah, that is the law of attraction in a nutshell, right there. The reason we are so certain that nothing that you want is upstream is because we understand the stream. We have seen it in its origin, and we watch it as it increases in size and speed. We know what the current is and why it flows the way it does, and we understand where this stream will lead you if you will but allow it. This is the stream of life, and it is in motion before you came forth into your physical body. And from your non physical perspective, as you set forth your intentions to be here on this planet in this body, you added to the current of this fast moving stream. And now, focused on this physical body, you continue to add to the current of the stream by sifting through the data of your life and coming to personal conclusions about what you do not want, which produces the natural asking for what you do want. For with every asking, whether of great or small importance, you add to the speed of the current of the stream. I love how she explains that.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever your life causes you to ask for something beyond what you are living, the non-physical part of you rides that rocket of desire and literally becomes the vibrational fulfillment of your request. Every question you ask causes a formulation of an answer and your inner being focuses upon that answer. Every problem you face causes a formulation of a solution, and your inner being not only focuses upon that solution, but also literally becomes it vibrationally. And you will, if you will allow it, this stream, this fast moving current, will carry you downstream to the fulfillment of everything that your life has caused you to create. for it is all there for you in a sort of vibrational escrow waiting for you to flow to it.
The vortex.
The vortex. It's
vortex
amazing.
Of your personal creation.
Yeah, yeah. Now, doesn't that feel a lot better than fighting to get what you want all the time?
Right. Wouldn't it be fun to go with the flow of your life
Yeah.
and flow into the vortex of
Yeah.
creation of all of the things that you've asked for and wanted to create in your life and to begin to live that?
Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, that's what we all want.
Right.
That's what we've all been asking for.
Yeah.
Which is why we're talking about it.
Yeah, because you just have to allow that in.
Right.
And take those hints that come your way to lead you in a path. Sometimes you don't even realize how amazing it's going to be if you follow that path.
Right.
If you just follow along and don't try to push and shove everything to get there.
Right.
Yeah, so good. Okay, your inner being has already become it. When your life causes you to ask for something beyond where you are, the broader non-physical source energy, inner being, part of you becomes the vibrational equivalent of what you are asking for. We talked about that earlier when we explained that you are continually evolving and that with everything that life causes you to ask for, your inner being becomes that expanded you. The law of attraction is the most powerful law in the universe, and it is the vibrational manager of all that exists. Everything that exists, seen or unseen, tangible or invisible, electronic or materialistic, physical or non-physical, is not only affected, but is managed by this powerful universal law. In simple terms, this law says the essence of that which is like unto itself is drawn. Whether they are contemplating the well-documented physics of electronics or noticing that their own habitual thoughts are rendering them circumstances and experiences that perfectly match their moods and attitudes regarding all things, many are consciously recognizing the basis of this powerful law in their own experiences. The power of law of attraction is responding to the vibration of that which the greater part of you has become. And as the law of attraction responds to the vibration of the expanded you, the current flows. For the current of this stream of life is literally the momentum that is caused by the law of attraction's response to the vibration of your expanded being. That's a mouthful. That's a lot to think about.
That is a lot to think about in one sentence.
Yeah, it is. That's a very long paragraph of a sentence. But it's so true. And you know, it sounds complicated, but when you think about it, it's not at all. All we have to do is be who we want to be and be that now and follow the little crumbs that come before us to get us to
show us
where
the way.
that is. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So the big question, the question that this book seeks to answer is, what are you in your physical form doing in relationship to the vibration of your expanded self? Are you letting yourself be up to vibrational speed with what you have become or not?
I love that.
Woo.
That's a good question to ask ourselves every day.
It is
every
so
day.
Good.
And you know what I was thinking about is, you know, one of the things that Abraham says very often is the art of allowing and allowing yourself to be a vibrational match to what you want is the art of telling a different story.
Yeah.
What story are you telling yourself? What story are you telling yourself today? What story are you telling yourself about your day? What story are you telling yourself about your finances? What story are you telling yourself about your relationships? What story are you telling yourself about yourself? What story is in your mind? And if that story isn't a vibrational match to what you want,
right. and you can change that so
You
easy.
can change it.
And changing your story was our first topic of the month.
It was.
The first one. So go back and listen to that one again. But so many of us repeat the past in our minds, and that's keeping you stuck in that story. Like it said in the book, that could be your mom's story or your grandmother's story or her mother before her. It's keeping you repeating those same stories. And I just listened to another podcast or a little clip of somebody the other day, and it was a Native American. And he said he was talking about his elders and his like his grandpa, his dad, his grandpa, and the grandpa before him, and how they had to struggle and they were taken out of, where they wanted to be and put in Indian schools and made to take away their religion and their, people tried to take away who they were and to make them into something that they're not. And he said, this needs to be talked about. We need to talk about this so we don't keep repeating the same thing. And I was like, oh, that is so, so good, because it hurts all of us, no matter what ethnicity you are, or whatever group that you're from. The things in the past were done, and it wasn't us that did it. It wasn't the generations now or coming. So in order to heal that, it needs to be talked about and needs to be moved forward from, so that everyone can tell their new story and be in that better place where everyone gets along and everyone.
Speaking, let go of the old story and create the one that we want going forward. And like I said, it's the art of telling a new story.
Yeah.
And the old stories that we tell ourselves,
right,
are we allowing that pattern to continue forward? And like you said, acknowledging the past patterns and the past stories within ourselves or within our groups or whatever, is really important to acknowledge and say, okay, this is where we're at.
Right. It's not discounting it or saying that wasn't wrong, but you can't move forward if you're staying in that story, right?
Right.
So no matter what that story is, whether you came from a poor family, you came from a racial thing that was happening, you came from whatever it is, you can't move forward if you keep telling the same story and doing the same things. And even an abusive family, or abusive dad or whatever, if you keep living in that, you're gonna bring that forward instead of something better.
Right. And let us keep bringing old patterns forward. And within those patterns becomes thoughts and behaviors and things, and all of that is intermingled, right?
Yeah.
So acknowledging the stories within us,
right,
is important, because we acknowledge, okay, this is where I'm at in this area. Because of XYZ doesn't matter as much as I acknowledge that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Is it where I want to be though?
Yeah.
Because if it's not where you want to be, it's time to start telling a new story.
Yeah.
And that story could be, I am a healed person. I am whole.
Yeah.
My life is a beautiful gift. And I'm going to live my life that way every single day.
Yeah.
That could be your new story. Yeah. Something just as simple as that.
Right.
Because it's where you want to be. Right? So you begin by becoming, like you said, becoming that person,
the person
that is living that story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
we kind of talked about that too earlier before we started the podcast, about eating, cleaning our plate, when we're not really hungry anymore, but you have to clean your plate. And, that comes from our ancestors that lived through the Depression and food was scarce.
Right.
But food isn't scarce anymore, and we keep doing that to ourselves. We can change that story. We don't have to be there anymore.
Right. And that's a story that's ingrained in many of us.
Yeah.
Most of us.
Most of us.
Pretty much all of us of our age.
Right.
Have been stuck in that.
And that's
mindset.
been a couple generations,
Mhm.
because that was my grandparents.
Yes.
And then it was carried to my mom and dad and then to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
100%.
I remember trying to make it a point, you want your kids to eat because they go through stages where they don't want to eat.
Right. And they do need to eat food to survive.
Right. But I remember thinking, I'm never gonna tell my kids they have to clean their plate because I can't go without cleaning my plate. I have a hard time changing that pattern within myself.
Right.
So yeah, it's a really cool knowledge to have and to pay attention to and to learn from, so that we can move forward into a better community, a better us, a better whatever. Yeah.
A better life that we're looking for, because things can be amazing, but they can always even get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everything can get better, and it can get better than that, and it can get better than that. And so that's where we want to head towards.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah. So good.
It's
I
a
love
practice.
it. Yeah.
The practice
it
worth
is the
doing.
practice for sure.
It's one I'm working on every single day.
Yeah.
I see things come up with myself and say, well, okay, is that what I want?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the story I want to be telling myself?
Yeah. And I can't imagine where I'm at right now, a life where I'm not improving always and working on things within, always, being blind to it, or just, putting my nose to the grindstone, like they used to say.
Yeah.
Without working on things within you to move forward into a better you.
Right. I'm never static.
No.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
That's not who I am either.
Right.
I'm always in forward motion, and we are always in forward motion, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah.
And so holding yourself away from that forward motion causes a lot of negative emotion, and that's where a lot of people feel stuck.
Yeah.
You're not stuck. You're moving forward. But are you moving forward with the current, or are you trying to paddle upstream?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Think about that the next time you're feeling kind of off, or like you're pushing and not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
Think about that. Are you going with the flow, or are you pushing upstream? You're the one that can change that.
Yes. Because you're responsible for your vibration. You're responsible for where you're at.
Yeah.
And it's time to take a look at, are you where you want to be, or are there things that you want to improve?
Yeah.
And if there are, it's time to start living that story, telling that story, and being that story of what you want for your life.
Yeah. 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 And there's a lot of people that are scared of that themselves. They're scared to look within, I think. Always, scared to be alone with themselves and learn from yourself, because your inner being knows exactly what to do.
Right.
If you'll just listen.
And here's the thing, if you look deep enough, all the way to that inner piece of yourself that we call the soul, that we call the inner being, or spirit, or whatever word you want to use for it, you are a beautiful light in that very deep inner part of you. So don't be afraid to look and to seek and to connect with that part of you, because only good things come from that. Maybe change happens from it and it feels a little discombobulating for some people at first, but once you get through that first period of discomfort of like, oh, this is different, beautiful things come from that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So good.
So good. I love it.
Yeah.
I think we've shared a lot for today. There's a lot for you guys to think about, a lot for us to think about for the week. And we have more great things for next week too.
Yeah, next week we'll start with the new theme and we'll go from there.
Gonna be fun.
August already next week. I can't believe it.
Oh my.
Awesome.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Tracy, if people really wanted to kind of connect more with some of the stuff that you're doing, where could they find you on the wonderful thing that we call the internet?
You can find me at inspiredsignals.com. All my links are there. I haven't been too active on social lately, but my handles are at Inspired Signals and at Inspired Signals Studio at Facebook and Instagram. You can see my artsy stuff on my studio pages, and that's what I've been working on mostly lately.
Your art, yes.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it all works together, and it's really cool to see that creativity and intuition and self-improvement and all of it. It all comes together in a cool little thing.
Does.
Little stream.
Does.
How about you, Carissa? What have you been working on, and where can we find you?
Well, you can find me at Light of Hope Healing on Facebook. And you can also find the link to my Square page, which has stuff on it to purchase and stuff about some classes and things that I've been working on. And that is light-of-hope-healing.square site. So Light of Hope Healing is a bunch of dashes in between .square site. Thank you, Square, for that website handle. And I'm really just in those two places right now. Still working on a website, but summertime is tricky for working on a website because we're so busy in life.
We're from the north, and we don't get much for summer, so we gotta enjoy it while we can.
Summer is
a few short months, and we're lucky to have 3 months.
We're lucky if we get that 3 months.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing, is living life.
Yeah.
Doing 1,000,001 things all at once.
Yeah. And it's fun.
And we're having a wonderful time. So if you want to kind of see what we're up to, what we're going to be doing next, you can go to our websites. Otherwise,
and watch us here on YouTube.
Watch us here on YouTube. So YouTube, we are at SoulSpace Podcast. Nothing before, nothing after. You'll see our gorgeous faces. If you're listening to this instead of watching it, you don't know what we look like. So just at SoulSpace Podcast. There's nothing before, nothing after.
Yeah.
And we're the only one with that exact name, but there are a lot of things that have SoulSpace in them.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah. And we're on Facebook at Our SoulSpace.
Yes, on Facebook at Our SoulSpace as well, collectively, which we haven't done anything with for a little bit.
Pretty much we just share our podcast on that.
But you can find our podcast there, which you're listening to. So share it with your friends.
Yeah. So we will see you next week. I hope you enjoyed our presentation today, and keep living that law of attraction life.
Yeah. Keep working on pivoting every day into a better and better vibration, because if your vibration is good, it can be great. And if it's great, it can be even better than that.
Yeah.
And it can be all the way up to ecstatic joy. So why not, shoot for the moon?
Right. How does it get better?
How does it get better than that? Let's find out.
Yeah, let's. See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.